If you take anything at all from all this, when you kill, make sure he dead.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, if you love power, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now today, we're going to be talking about Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 3, Episode 10, the season finale. This is the recap. Now I'm going to try my best to focus on all the key points in this episode. If I miss anything, you guys let me know down below. And man, your boy Unique, he is still here. And I already know, man, the theories, they have started once again. We got a lot of fans saying, yeah, Unique is dead, but now Breeze is here. This is what people are talking about. As I told you once again, the Breeze theories, they crazy as hell. We already know this season, a lot of fans thought Ronnie's crazy self was Breeze. Like, really? Ain't no way in the hell they about to be taking some orders from Ronnie. Do you see how he been moving? Well, he got dropped off in this episode. I'm glad those theories about him being Breeze is over. But you already know more theories about other characters being Breeze will continue. And of course, as I just told you guys, Unique, he is the guy that people are looking at right now. But I cannot wait to see season 4 to see how he's going to be moving. You know, I want to know what's going to happen with him and Kanan. Of course, Rock as well. But besides that, man, this episode was real good, man. They built it up to the very end for us to get the conclusion of Ronnie. We knew, or at least I knew from jump, ain't no way in the hell Ronnie can make it just based off the way he's been moving this season. He had to go. But I would say Detective Howard being dropped off by Rock, it was more of the shocker. But we already knew he was going to jail or he will be getting dropped off. I mean, I told you guys the season started out with Detective Howard dropping off Burke, and it ended with Detective Howard getting dropped off by Rock. Now, the crazy thing is, Howard probably could have lived if he would have just stayed away. He did not have to go to that last, deal with Rock and, Marvin. He could have just stayed out of the picture and heard about what happened, but he wanted to be a part of all of it. And he wanted Marvin to take that fall, talking about somebody still got to pay for all this stuff. Like, really? Well, you gonna pay. I believe with Detective Howard getting dropped off, that's going to clear everybody. I think Famous will be cool. And I also think your boy Marvin, he gonna be good as well. But Rock said, you know what? We might as well take out 2 birds with 1 stone. Kanan taking out Ronnie and Rock taking out Detective Howard. I know Kanan was kind of pissed off. He had that look on his face like, really? You took out my pops? Like, man. But Rock did what she had to do. She already stated that she's not selling out her family. And that's exactly what ended up happening in this episode. And your boy Kanan said, you know what? I'm not selling out family as well. And he took out Ronnie. The crazy thing is, as I told you guys last night, Ronnie got to be slow. Because you're going to sit up here and agree with Kanan with this whole game plan with Rock to set her up and get the money and all that. Like, really? You thought Kanan really was about to team up with you after you sent your goons to take her out and after y'all had that big argument? Like, come on, Ronnie. I mean, it is what it is. He got dropped off, and now I guess we're going to see who's going to be the next big villain in season 4. I told you guys they're building up Snaps and Pops, and I do believe it's going to be, another character coming in as well that may just create problems. But let's begin the recap. What did we see in episode 10, the season finale, titled Major Look? Now, the episode starts out with your boy Lulu. I know we pretty much predicted that he was going to go to rehab. Some people really believe that Lulu was up out of here, but no. Rock, she loves her brother. She ain't just gonna take him out just like that. She wants to make sure that it is a possibility of him getting himself together, and that's exactly what she's doing. They had a very emotional scene together. We know Lulu, he just wanted to get his emotions out. Rock, she expressed her emotions, talking about she loved Lulu. He basically is her heart. She remember holding him when he was just a baby. I mean, this was a very emotional scene, especially with Rock opening up, right? Now, it was good to see them finally squash their issues that they had with each other. But we know deep down inside that Lulu is still suffering. It's hard for him. He doesn't really want to be there, for one. On top of that, he truly understands who he really is, and he feels like he cannot change it. And you can tell that he basically is mentally checked out. And it goes back to the conversations that he had with Jessica about being better, that you're better than this. And then all this stuff happens to him. He's like, man, I'm not better, and I might as well not even be here. This is the thoughts that it seems like your boy Lulu is dealing with. Now we get to Marvin. He goes to Gerald's funeral. He's in the cut, and y'all know he had to show up there because he wants to give his respects to Gerald. It's kind of sad. We know that Gerald's daughter will be in foster care. The feds, they pop up on Marvin talking about it's all your fault for what happened to Gerald, and they tell him they will continue to press him because they want to make sure he goes down for all of this. But Marvin ain't stupid. He understands if they don't got proof of anything, he can't go down, and we know he's going to talk to his lawyer later on in the episode. Now, we get to Kanan and Crystal, and it seems like Crystal, wants to make this official with Kanan. She really likes him. Kanan is like, nah, we cool. We just kicking it. I'm cool with just clapping your cheeks, and that's it. But it seems like Crystal ain't going for that. And then all of a sudden, she's talking about I'm late on my period or whatever. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Crystal. I told you guys in my quick thoughts video, I don't trust her. We know just based off the way that she was moving this season that she's shady. So Kanan, you better watch yourself. And if she is going to have a baby, you better get a test. Now, we get to Aisha and Jukebox, and apparently it's been like 2 weeks since they saw each other or whatever. And Aisha finally comes out letting Jukebox know that she really likes her. She gives Jukebox a kiss, and now Jukebox is kind of confused, like, man, so you really like me, but you were just all up on my cousin Kanan. And y'all know Aisha, she was all in her feelings talking about she didn't really know what she wanted to do and all this stuff, but she really does like Jukebox. But Jukebox understands that she cannot risk getting close to Aisha because she understands her family and she understands the lifestyle that she's around. It's going to mess around and get, Aisha hurt. And that's the last thing that she wants to happen, especially based off, Jukebox's past and everything that happened with Nicole. Now, Tanner is not playing around with Detective Howard. He is trying to tie him into the whole thing with Gerald, Marvin, and of course, he ends up bringing up the whole thing with Lulu on how, Detective Howard reached out to law enforcement officers telling them to find Lulu or whatever. And Howard was kind of surprised that that information got out. But I'm thinking like, man, what do you think was going to happen? These guys can't be trusted. They will turn on you just like that. And we know Howard's union rep, he told him, look, we need to go talk. We need to compare notes because we pretty much screwed over. They know he talked to Nicole's pops as well. And like I said, Tanner, he's pretty much telling Howard, you're under investigation and you got 2 days to talk to me or we will issue a warrant for your arrest. So as I told you guys, Tanner is not playing around. He understands that Howard is connected somehow, some way to Marvin, organized crime, and he ain't going. So now Howard has to prepare to tell Rock, the story of they on to us. But in reality, they're on to you and you're trying to figure out a way to get out of all of this. Now, we get to your boy Marvin. He goes to Terry Silver's daddy, and we know he ends up telling Marvin that they ain't got enough to get you, at least as of right now. But Marvin, he ain't going. He's like, man, I ain't do nothing. You need to tell them that I'm the wrong one to be messing around with. Now, we get to your girl Rock, and this is where we see the drive-by. And Rock is able to escape this, and we knew she was going to escape this. We know Bettina Miller will be in season 4, so it was very interesting to see how it's all going to play out. Now, we know Kanan was very upset when he learned the news about his mom's being shot at. And we know he was very upset with Ronnie, and we end up seeing them two have a major argument later on in the episode. Now, we get to Jukebox and Aisha once again. Jukebox lets her know that she is going to be going to the army. Now, Aisha is kind of upset because she's like, man, what about me and you? And Jukebox is like, man, I didn't even know it wasn't me and you until now or whatever. Now, she does tell Jukebox that she will wait for her. Jukebox said, no, you won't. She does not want Aisha waiting for her at all. As I told you guys earlier, she understands if Aisha is around, bad things may end up happening to her. we do end up learning that the group is pretty much done for. I mean, I guess what happened in the last episode probably screwed things up, or maybe it was something else. But at the end of the day, we already knew the whole thing with the music thing was not going to last long. But it's going to be very interesting to see how they're going to play out this storyline for season 4, especially seeing how Crystal is talking about she's, late on her period. Now we get to Kanan and Famous. Famous tells Kanan, did he hear about what happened to his moms, that she was shot at? Now, Kanan did not hear about this, but he understands what time it is. He understands that only one person would do anything like this, and that is crazy Ronnie. And this is where he's going to go and confront him about what happened. Now, Tanner, he doing his job a little bit too much, too well. He's like, look, let's go to Lulu. Let's talk to him and see if he knows anything about Howard. Of course, Lulu does not give them any type of intel. Now, Tanner was like, man, this is a very expensive place. Who's paying for it? All up in Lulu's business and stuff. Like, really? And I'm thinking like, man, Tanner, you doing too much. I understand you're doing your job, but I was starting to think like, well, you could just get dropped off because I'm tired of seeing your face. Now, we get to Marvin. He goes to Rock and he lets her know that Ronnie was the one that pulled that hit on her. And we understand that Kanan and Ronnie are working together. So, of course, the thought of Kanan helping him out or agreeing with it is still an idea. But Marvin is like, man, Kanan would never agree to something like this. Ain't no way. We can tell Rock is kind of second guessing, but she's also like, look, we ain't about to go back and forth with this dude. I'm not about to go to war with my son. So let's sit down and have a conversation first. We need to talk about it. And we know she ended up sending Marvin to go have a conversation with Snaps and Pops. Now we get to Kanan and Ronnie. Snaps and Pops, they're there as well. And we know they was telling Ronnie like, dude, you don't sit up here and make a hit on Rock and miss. Well, we know Ronnie, he wasn't the one that was actually shooting, but still, he set up everything and those guys, they failed. Kanan is pissed off talking about, you don't make a move like that. We partners. I told you to stay away from my family. They're going back and forth. Your boy Ronnie is talking about, you don't tell me what to do, little boy. And we know Kanan, he's upset, telling him, you don't really know who you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted. And this is where I'm talking about. After this argument between the two, you would think Ronnie would be like, okay, I can't mess with Kanan no more, man. I can't trust him at all. But no, Ronnie said, you know what? I'm still going to work with him. I still got enough trust in him, to make this move on Rock, his mom's. Did you see how pissed off he was? So you honestly believe he's going to agree with you to take down his mom's at the end of the episode for money? Well, I guess so. I told you guys at the very beginning of the season, Ronnie's weakness is his obsession with Rock. Him and Juliana. That was their weakness, and they both end up being taken out because of that. Now, Famous, he's having a conversation about Lulu. We know Lulu, he's in rehab right now. We also know that Famous, he had that deal with Shirley's friend as far as doing music together, setting up a deal. But they need Lulu to be a part of all of this. So, of course, that cannot happen until Lulu comes back. Now, all of a sudden, law enforcement, they come up in there. They arrest Famous, and they're talking about, you got to go down because of what happened to Freddie. And the look on his mom's face let us know, like, okay, she knows something that we don't know. You know what I'm saying? And we end up finding more about that once they brought Famous in and start questioning him. Now, we get to your boy Marvin. He goes to Snaps and Pops, trying to basically neutralize the situation between Ronnie and Rock. This whole beef is getting out of control. He does not want a war, and he understands that it's just bad for business, and it's a way that maybe we can just have a conversation to fix things. They understand that the tension is just too hot with Rock and Ronnie, and that's probably not going to be a good idea for them to sit down. We also know that Rock does not want to go back and forth with Kanan, so a war that's going to pop off. I mean, that's just how it's looking. But the good thing is, we know later on in the episode, they all do sit down and have a conversation. Without Ronnie, of course. Now, we get the jukebox and Kanan, and we can tell the way Kanan was looking. I mean, looking behind his back, that this was all a setup, a part of his game plan that he was, having with Ronnie in order to screw Ronnie over at the end of the episode. Now, him and Jukebox do talk. She tells him about the whole thing with the army and stuff like that. Kanan tells Jukebox that he did not set his moms up. And like I say, it's all part of the game plan to make it seem like he had nothing to do with anything. And then all of a sudden we see these guys, they get out the van and they hem your boy Kanan up. Jukebox, of course, she's going to run back and tell her dad and tell Rock what went down. And now they're going to have to find Kanan and see what Ronnie wants. Now, we get back to your boy Famous, his mom's. We got Tanner, he's there. The captain, he's there as well. I mean, it's getting crazy. They talking about you took out Freddie and all this stuff. And we got the gun that he kept. His mom decided it was in her best interest to turn the gun in. Like, really? How stupid could you be? I am not going to lie to you guys. When I found out that information, I was like, well, I guess she can get dropped off. She needs to go. The streets need another body. But of course, that was not the case in this episode. And we know Famous, he held it down. Even though they kept pressing him, trying to make it seem like they had the best deal, like he had to basically agree with what they wanted him to do. He said, you know what? I'm good. I need my lawyer, and that's it. Which was very smart from your boy Famous. I do believe that he will be okay because of what happened to Detective Howard. They're going to tie everything together and they're going to pin everything on Howard, which is most likely going to clear everybody. But then again, that whole gun thing, that could be an issue for your boy Famous. But I honestly believe with the whole Detective Howard stuff, you know, how everything ended for him is going to help clear everybody. We shall see. Now we get to Detective Howard. He goes and has a conversation with Rock, talking about law enforcement. They coming for us, but Rock understands that that's not the case, and most likely they coming from him, and he is screwed over. Now he is trying to pretty much tell her that they need to pin all of this on Marvin, and she ain't going for that. Ain't no way in the hell she going for that. And he continues to blame her for everything, talking about all the problems, all the issues that's going down. It's because of you. Rock said it's crazy because how do I cause all the problems, but you need me to fix everything? So she does not agree on what Howard is talking about. And I'm pretty sure she was probably plotting and planning on a way to get him up out of here because he seems like more of a problem to her and, of course, her family, and that's the last thing that she wants to happen. Now we know when they're having this conversation, Jukebox and Marvin, they come in and they tell Rock about what happened to Kanan, and they understand that Ronnie wants something. Now Detective Howard, he's going to tag along. Now Snaps, he's like, man, what the hell is he doing here? Howard was not going. He's like, look, I can be friendly at first, but if y'all don't give me what I want, I can get unfriendly. He wants to know what Ronnie wants for Kanan, and they end up telling him, look, he wants to connect in. He wants the business. And of course, he wants $500,000. And I'm like, man, this dude really wants all this stuff. Snaps is like, well, kids are expensive, right? So now they have to come up with a game plan in order to get this money in order to try to get Kanan back. Now, Howard is talking about he wants to be there at the drop. He wants to basically be around all the moves that Rock is making. And he's talking about the last thing that he's probably going to ever do is save Kanan in. Of course, make sure Rock does not get dropped off as well. And he tells her that somebody still has to pay the price or whatever. And that's because he wants Marvin to take the fall. The crazy thing is, Rock told him to sit this one out. He does not have to be a part of it, but he wanted to stick around. So I guess this will be his last little mission that he's going to do for Kanan. Now, we get to your girl Jukebox. She's going back and forth in her head about the whole army thing, and it seems like it has got the best of her over her music career. Well, we already knew what time it was. We knew eventually Jukebox will be in the law enforcement type of career, but I want to know how they're going to play this out next season. Now, we get to Stefano and Rock and Marvin, and she's telling him, look, she needs his help. She wants to get, that money or whatever, and she needs him to front her the money. Of course, she's going to put up her business, her home or whatever in order to pay him back. He agrees. And, he looks out for Rock, telling her that he will have the money in an hour. Now, we get back to your boy Lulu. And throughout the episode, they kept showing Lulu. We could tell he's going through it. He said once he saw the feds, once they came there and questioned him, that he realized this is his life. This is how it's going to be. And most likely, it's never going to change. And we know Lulu, deep down inside, he does not like what he sees. And he tries to take himself out, or at least he thought about it, but he stopped. He broke down once he saw himself in the mirror, and he's like, man, I can't do it. And at first I'm like, man, if he does this, it's pretty much over for your boy Lou. But we're going to see what's going to happen next for him in season 4. I do think he will, recover, but he will never be the same. And of course, the fans, they want to see that old Lulu from season 1. Hopefully we get that version of Lulu back, or at least see him, be successful within the whole music business. Now we get to the end of the episode. We got Marvin on the lookout just in case something pops off. And then we see Ronnie and Kanan. Ronnie happy as hell. He believes everything's going to go as planned, but we know he's pretty much screwed over. Now, Kanan comes out and says, look, I was never kidnapped or whatever. It was all part of my game plan, and that's just how it was going to be. Now, it really did seem like Kanan chose the business, Ronnie, over his mom's. But then again, we know how crazy Ronnie is. And we've seen all the signs all season long that Kanan is not going. You're not about to mess with his family and sit up here and think you're going to be able to live to see another day. So he got Ronnie up out of here, man. As Ronnie was going in, counting the money, Kanan took him out. Detective Howard, he had that look on his face like, really? Because Rock pulled the strap out on him. He told Kanan, do you see this shit? And then she took him out completely. And then we can see Kanan with the look on his face like, man, you really just did that? He couldn't believe it, right? But Rock is like, screw all that. I'm taking out 2 birds with 1 stone. We might as well get both of them up out of here. No loose ends. Marvin comes out and he drops off the other 2 guys that was with Ronnie. And he tells them, look, we got to get the hell up out of here, right? So they end up leaving. Bodies are dropped off. Detective Howard pack, it is here. That Ronnie pack, it is here. We already knew the way that Ronnie's been moving, he was going to pretty much be gone. Detective Howard, we knew he was whether getting locked up or he was going to get dropped off. And that's exactly what ended up happening. He got dropped off. Now, at the end of the episode, we saw the black boots. We saw somebody there. And of course, it was your boy, Unique. He never died. All the different articles and things that Joey Badass said was all just promotion. Remember the theme of this season, the truth is a lie. And they pretty much sold this one, y'all. They sold it to the very end. And I told you guys in my episode 6 recap, once they did not show the body of Unique, we pretty much knew what time it was. I already told you guys they kind of leaked out the photo a few weeks back, but you can tell even before that leak was put out that he was alive. Like, you're not going to show his body in episode 6, 7, 8, or 9. And then you keep talking about he's gone for good. I mean, Ronnie even stated that Unique, he ain't going nowhere. Remember he said that in episode 5? That was another clue that Unique was going to stay here. My question is, who told Unique about all of this? Was he just sitting back watching, waiting for his opportunity to make his move? I'm going to tell you right now, whatever Unique is going through, he's not going to be the same person. He's definitely going to be mentally different after what he suffered in episode 5 this season. So I can't wait to see how he's going to deal with things, how he's going to deal with Kanan and Rock, and what's next for his character. I'm pretty sure your boy Joey Badass is about to get a whole lot of DMs. People are going to talk about, man, I knew you didn't die. I knew I was right all along and stuff like that. So I say shout out to all the people that, did not give up on their theory saying that Unique was alive. You guys were right. And it always goes back to that TV logic, because you got the realistical logic and you got the TV logic. And the TV logic is this: if the body don't pop up, that means most likely they still alive. And these are the same words that Unique told Marvin back in season 2. If that body don't pop up, they still out there. They still talking. So, man, it's a crazy ending to season 3, man. I really can't wait to see what's going to happen for season 4. Of course, this theory is about Breeze. You got people talking about, yeah, Unique is dead, but now Breeze is born. These are the theories. After what we saw this season, I guess these crazy power fan theories are a little bit more interesting, because it seems like maybe these theories ain't too crazy at all, and maybe some of them could be true. Well, we're going to find out in season 4 exactly what time it is. Of course, we're going to talk about those season 4 early predictions. I want you guys to get those predictions ready. We're going to talk about them this weekend. But I want to thank you guys once again for supporting your boy for another season of Raising Kanan, man. It's been crazy. A crazy one, man. We spoken on the Detective Howard pack and that Ronnie pack. He's added to that list. Built up characters, dropped off in the same season. But he had a hell of an impact on season 3. Had everybody talking. It was funny. The Honey Nut Cheerios, him popping up like Michael Myers. I mean, they called him Ronnie Myers. Dude had those weird glasses on. The jacket, standing all crazy. I mean, it was a very interesting season, man. And I cannot wait to see what's next. But I want to thank you guys once again for all the love, all the support. And I will catch y'all on the next one. But let me get up on out of here, man. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.